Hi. Okay, so I want to speak about what I'm calling Generation Chi. 1st January 2025, anybody who's born is Generation Beta. And aren't you fed up of this whole thing of baby boomers, millennials, uh, Gen Alpha, Gen Z, now Gen Beta, God knows what will come next, right? I am a little fed up of the psychographic, demographic definitions, trends, all of this, right? And New Year is such a plethora of do this, do that, 6 ways, 10 ways, 100 ways, next 5 things, next trends, whatever. It's all sounds a little hubris at the end of it. And I think all you're hoping for it when you're going through this humongous list of things to do is um, that everybody who's reading this or is listening to this has discernment, and discernment is something that comes only with life experience. I think it really doesn't come from or it comes from very deep reading, right? If you're reading a lot and you're kind of learning from what you're reading, or you're living a really deep life and you're learning from the people that you interact with. So or you're somebody who's very good at self-inquiry. I mean, between the three methods, you'll find discernment. Or you make a lot of mistakes. You go out there and try many, many things, and that's another way. Discernment is not the easy thing to learn, but what I'm learning, and there's an entire generation that I've been meeting for a very long time, because I think when you decide to be an entrepreneur and you decide to do this in digital, you're looking for a world which is permissionless and which does not require you to take approval from any higher ups. That is, I think, the beauty of being a digital entrepreneur. And Generation G is a generation which essentially does not really care about the good words and the good actions. It actually cares about the energy that you carry. And my entire career is built on being able to attract symbiotic energy and being able to repel the one that did not work out for the larger good. And there is a need for the larger good. If you are being very, very selfish, actually there won't be an energetic match for a long period of time. People who get repelled by you very, very quickly, it's a great rejection. It's a great rejection because it's a great redirection. So Generation Chi, according to me, is, and I kind of also look at them as baby cheese and adult cheese in that sense, which is, this is a generation which will look at the larger picture, which will be somewhere driven by the purpose, which will find space for themselves, which will not seek permission, which will question all the status quo, which will not be part of the 9 to 5 and the industrial era, etc., which will be a knowledge worker, which will have side hustle, which will have multiple ways, which will be a billionaire and you wouldn't know about it, which will not stand in line of any rat race that there is, which will kind of question everything that you say is wisdom, which will not be driven by the beliefs of the parents or the traditional systems. They will find their own. They'll define their own, and they're okay with making the mistakes that come with it. They will not follow timelines. There will be no linear living. They will also not follow traditional diktats of anything, age, status, anything, any of the games that you play, money. They may bloom earlier, they may bloom later, but they will bloom because they will leverage all the combined skills that they have kind of acquired over the way. They will try many, many things before they say, okay, this is what I want to do. And there will be no life. The life will be till the time there's an energetic match to whatever they might be doing. And then when they kind of, the spark is over, they'll move on to something else. And they'll have no qualms about it. They will not go and say, I'm an expert in this and I'm an expert in that. They will actually almost be repelled by people who kind of try to put them in a box. Now, this is not the easiest generation to kind of deal with, but this is a beautiful generation because when they're there, they're fully there. And when they're not, they're not. So this whole concept of notice period, etc., won't work. Till the time they're there, they're fully there, and when they're not, they're not. So this is an all or nothing kind of generation. This is a with or without you kind of generation. Do we know how to harness it? I think a little beauty of my life is I'm a little ahead. Just by virtue of having made these mistakes earlier before other people were making them, and for everything that you get vilified for when you are early mover kind of become a strength over time. And but I have massive hope from this generation because I think there'll be different kind of consumers, there'll be different kind of builders, there'll be different kind of employees, there'll be different kind of owners, there'll be different kind of entrepreneurs, and there are so many that I'm surrounded by that it's extremely inspiring that energy never lies, and it's so hard to fake, it's so hard to hide behind designations, cards, organizations, degrees, anything. I mean, energy doesn't lie. All the degrees will not save you if your energy is selfish. And selfish is nothing but, and there's nothing wrong in being individualistic or selfish, but that does not attract a collective. And I think the work that we all are going to do going forward requires a collective, and that requires you to keep your energy really clean. And if you're a little twisted or a little crooked, you know how it'll show in the level of interaction somebody has with you. Like what happens in my life is I may end up falling in love with somebody like very deeply, and I'm talking about at work, at purpose, in life, and then my interaction starts reducing if the energetic match is not there. And there'll come a point where I'll be repelled to such a level that either that person will completely leave my life, or there'll be a block, or there'll just be a natural moving out. And I no longer kind of look at it as good or bad. It's people will come, people will go, purpose will come, purpose will also go, because purpose changes based on the person that you are. Most of us get stuck. Oh, this is my life's purpose. There is no life's purpose. Your life changes, purpose changes, as long as there's an energetic high voltage, go do it. If not, move on. And moving on, I mean, saying no, I think, is a better superpower than saying yes. And walking away, I think, is amazing if you know what you want. So yeah, don't let them tell you what it is. Look for the energetic match, and if it doesn't exist, don't worry about the words and the actions. But when you're there, be there. When you're not, you're not. People have to value when you're there.